Single dad saved his drunk boss from trouble. The next day, she didn't pretend to forget. The office was nearly empty when Ethan Cole glanced at the clock. 10:42 p.m. The blue glow from his monitor reflected off his tired eyes. As a single dad of a 7-year-old girl, Lily, overtime wasn't a choice, it was survival. Bills didn't wait, and neither did his daughter's dreams. He rubbed his temples, ready to shut down his computer, when he heard muffled laughter and the clinking of glasses coming from the executive lounge down the hall. He hesitated. His boss, Victoria Hale, the company's youngest regional director, was hosting a small after-hours celebration for closing a major deal. Everyone admired her confidence and precision, but she was also known for her icy professionalism. Ethan respected her, but never imagined their worlds would collide beyond spreadsheets and weekly reports. When he walked past the lounge, he saw Victoria, usually poised and in control, struggling to stand. Her friends had already left, leaving her alone, drunk, and fumbling with her car keys. Ethan froze. A powerful woman like her could ruin his career with one misunderstanding, but leaving her like that wasn't something he could live with. He took a deep breath and walked in. "Ma'am, you shouldn't drive," Ethan said gently. Victoria blinked, her mascara slightly smudged. "Ethan, you still here? Go home." "I'm fine." "You're not fine," he replied. "Let me call you a cab, please." She tried to protest, but her knees buckled. Ethan caught her before she hit the ground. For a moment their eyes met, hers dazed and vulnerable, his calm but nervous. He helped her out, got her into his old sedan, and drove her home safely. He didn't step inside her apartment, just made sure she had her keys and was safe. "Good night, Ms. Hale," he said softly before leaving. She mumbled something, maybe a thank you, but he didn't catch it. The next morning, Ethan arrived at the office earlier than usual, hoping to blend into the background and pretend nothing happened. Gossip traveled fast in offices, and the last thing he wanted was anyone twisting the story. When Victoria walked in, dressed in a cream blazer and heels that clicked with authority, the whole office straightened up. Ethan kept his head low, but then she stopped right at his desk. "Ethan Cole," she said firmly. The entire floor went silent. "Yes, ma'am." "Come to my office now." His stomach dropped. Inside her glass-walled office, she shut the blinds. For a long moment, she didn't speak, just stared at him. Finally, she said quietly, "You drove me home last night." "Yes, ma'am." "You weren't in a condition to drive. You could have taken advantage of the situation. You didn't. You could have left me there. You didn't. Do you know how rare that is in this world?" Ethan didn't know what to say. "I just did what anyone decent would." Victoria's expression softened for the first time since he'd met her. Not everyone is decent. Later that day, she called a team meeting. Everyone expected a routine performance review, but Victoria surprised them. "There are employees who go above and beyond," she began, glancing toward Ethan. "Not for bonuses or recognition, but because they have integrity. And sometimes, integrity deserves to be recognized too." Then she announced a new promotion. Ethan would now be Assistant Operations Manager. The room filled with applause, but Ethan sat speechless. He wasn't sure if it was real. After the meeting, Victoria approached him privately. "You're a single dad, right?" she asked. He nodded. "Yes, ma'am. Lily's my whole world," she smiled. "Then maybe it's time she sees her dad getting what he deserves." She paused, then added quietly, "And Ethan, I didn't forget what you did. I never will." That evening, Ethan returned home to Lily, who ran into his arms. He lifted her high, laughing. "Guess what, sweetheart? Daddy got promoted." Her eyes sparkled with pride. For the first time in a long time, Ethan didn't feel invisible. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness, done when no one's watching, can change everything. Ethan hadn't saved his boss for a reward. He'd done it because it was right. But fate has a way of remembering goodness, even when people don't ask it to. And as for Victoria Hale, every time she saw Ethan pass by her office afterward, she smiled quietly, reminded that humanity still exists in the most unexpected places. Victoria Hale couldn't stop thinking about that night. For years, she had built a wall around herself, polished, untouchable, and focused only on results. In her world, kindness was often mistaken for weakness. But when she saw Ethan's genuine concern, the way he protected her dignity when he easily could have done otherwise. It broke something inside her. Not in a painful way, but in a way that made her realize how numb she'd become. The following week, she invited Ethan into her office again. "Close the door," she said, her tone softer this time. He did as told, a bit nervous. "Relax," she added with a faint smile. "You're not in trouble. Actually, I wanted to ask, how do you manage it all? The late nights, your daughter, everything." Ethan shrugged modestly. "I guess you just learn to keep going. She's all I have, so quitting isn't an option." Victoria nodded thoughtfully. "I see why she's proud of you." After a brief silence, she said something that caught him off guard. "Next month, we're launching a new branch project in Chicago. I need someone trustworthy to lead operations. You've earned my trust, Ethan. If you're willing, I want you on that team." Ethan's eyes widened. That's a big move. I don't even know what to say." "Say yes," she said with a smile, "and think of it as a thank you for believing in something good, when this world often doesn't." He smiled, humbled. "I'll think about it. Lily's school and everything. But thank you. Means a lot. Take your time." Victoria replied softly. "I meant what I said. Some people deserve more than they ask for." That night, Ethan sat with Lily on their small apartment balcony, the city lights flickering below. "You know, kiddo," he said, brushing her hair back, "sometimes helping someone without expecting anything, it comes back in the best ways." Lily giggled. "Like a boomerang?" He laughed. "Exactly like a boomerang." Across town, Victoria poured herself a cup of tea instead of her usual wine. She replayed the memory of nearly losing everything that night. The car keys in her trembling hand, the street spinning, Ethan's steady voice cutting through the haze. She whispered to herself if he hadn't been there, she owed him more than she could ever admit publicly. But in her heart, she knew that moment had changed her. A few weeks later, Ethan accepted the Chicago position. The day before he left, Victoria gathered the staff. "Some people redefine what integrity means," she said, looking directly at him. "They remind us that success isn't just about numbers. It's about character." She extended her hand. "Good luck, Mr. Cole. You'll do great things." He shook her hand, smiling. "Thank you for believing in me, Miss Hale, and for not pretending to forget." As he walked away, she watched him leave with quiet pride. For the first time in years, Victoria felt like she wasn't just running a company. She was part of something human again. And Ethan? He looked up at the bright city skyline, Lily's hand in his, and realized something profound. Sometimes the smallest good deed doesn't just change your life, it changes someone else's heart forever.